Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're doing a simulated draft of the 2022 NHL Draft on DraftProspectHockey.com. And yes, this is different from a mock draft, so this is completely unique and original, original content for this channel. Um, so yeah, right here on the right, they have their own rankings, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how these are compiled. But yeah, they got Shane Wright first overall, so that makes sense. Savoy second, that's kind of questionable to me. I did say I would take him that high in my video on him, but opinions change. Other than that, though, they seem kind of reasonable. I haven't gone through them too much. I mean, Brad Lambert, 9, that is kind of high for Brad Lambert, in my opinion, but obviously I really like Brad Lambert, so I'm happy to see him there. But yeah, let's just get into it. Now, for this website, you do have to pick a team. So I picked the Sharks because that's my favorite team. And here we go. Let's go. Okay. The way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna sim the pick for the first round, and then after that, I'm just gonna skip to when the Sharks are picking, and I'll scroll through at the end so you guys can see where all the random people went in the late rounds. So, Montreal, first overall, Shane Wright, shocking. New Jersey, Logan Cooley, okay, that makes sense. Arizona, Matthew Savoy, okay. Seattle, Slavkovsky, that's interesting. So, I think in actuality, Slavkovsky is definitely going higher than Savoy, potentially even Cooley, but who knows? Philadelphia, Nemec, that makes sense. Juracek to Columbus. Okay. Well, Brad Lambert, seventh overall to the Ottawa Senators. Now, um, one, supposedly, like all the big names in the scouting industry are saying, Lambert is not going that high. He's far more likely, I would say, to go in the second round than he is to go seventh overall. Second, I don't think the Ottawa Senators are picking a guy like Lambert. I mean, they're not really known as a team that's good at drafting, and seventh is definitely a reach on him. Not on talent level, in my opinion, but based off of the general consensus, that is definitely a reach, and it's not one I see Ottawa taking, so we will see, I guess. Detroit is always interesting. You're off, okay, I could see that. Buffalo, Joachim Kamel, okay, that's a good pick for Buffalo. I wouldn't be that surprised if they took him if he's available. Um, Actually, I think I might be surprised if they don't take him. Who's available? Nazar, Miroshnichenko, Maki. Uh, Maybe I see him taking a guy like Geeky or Gauthier ahead of Kemmel, but I don't know. Nazar to the Ducks, okay, that hurts. I would have preferred him going to the Sharks. Oh yeah, I actually get to pick whenever the Sharks are up, so technically this isn't really the mock draft part. This is my own decision. But hmm, it's definitely, I think, between Miroshnichenko and Maki for me. I think there's somebody else, Mintyukov, maybe. Isaac Howard I like, but I think that's a bit high for him. Uh, hmm. I've heard Korchinski. Supposedly they're gonna take Korchinski if he's available here, but was he taken already? No, he should be available if we sort by defenseman. But you know what? You know what? Fine. For the sake of oh shoot, is he left-handed or right-handed? I think he's a left-handed. Um. Oh, okay. Well, we broke it. Let's see if I could try that again. Nope. Okay. Okay, Korchinski, where are you? Um. Oh, I see. It's because they're listed just as D, not left or right. Kevin Korchinski, ranked 32nd based off their rankings, but I get the feeling that that's who they're going to take, so I will take him there for the sake of realism, I guess. I don't know. Columbus again. Maki. So Columbus has got Maki and Jurček so far. That's a pretty good haul. I think they have a third first rounder too, but we'll see. Islanders, Matejchuk. That's interesting. That's kind of high for him, I think. Geeky to Winnipeg. That doesn't surprise me. Mirosnichenko to Vancouver. That could be a steal. McGrody to Buffalo. Okay. Jack Hughes to Nashville. That's interesting. I wonder if they have his rank. Okay, they do have a little blurb for every player, I believe, but I'm not sure what he was ranked before they made that pick. That seems really high for Jack Hughes. Dallas. Liam Ogren, that would be a good pick for Dallas, I think. Jimmy Snuggerud to LA, okay. Cutter Gauthier to the Capitals. Yeah, we're really into the part of the first round, especially in this year's draft where pretty much any of these guys can go at any point, really. So don't need to get too specific on any guys. Ty Nelson to Pittsburgh, that seems high. I mean, I would take Casey or Mintyukov ahead of him if you're looking for defensemen. Maybe even Tristan Luneau, I'd take over him. So that's kind of a questionable pick, I think. Anaheim, Marco Casper. Yeah, that seems like the type of pick Anaheim would make in that spot. St. Louis, Seamus Casey. Okay, I did run this once before, and I believe they were the ones that took Casey last time as well, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see. Minnesota, Mintyukov. That seems kind of low for him. That could be a good pick. Toronto, Haravolov. Okay, that's actually the first player I don't really know anything about. So, let's see. He's 6 foot 192. And okay, I mean, plays for Yaroslavl. Interesting. Um, Montreal's second pick, I believe, Isaac Howard. So Howard and Wright, that's a really good 1-2 punch, I think. I really like Isaac Howard. Coyotes. Solomonson, okay, that seems kind of high for him. Buffalo, Philip Massar, okay. I like Philip Massar. That seems like a good pick. Not necessarily the type of player I see Buffalo taking, but it is just a simulated draft after all. Tristan Luneau to the Oilers. That makes sense to me. Phil Bystedt to Tampa. That seems a little bit low for him. Okay, that's a good pick. Simon Forsmark to Winnipeg. That's another player I actually haven't heard of. That's interesting. And Arizona with the last pick of the draft, Yuri Kulik. Okay. So that's a good pick for Arizona. So they get Kulik, Salamonson, and Savoy to Arizona. That's interesting. I think don't love the Salamonson pick. Don't love the Savoy pick, but he's really boomer bust in my opinion, so it could look good. Kulik is a good pick. Interesting crop there for Arizona. Interesting players that are still on the board. Nathan Goucher, Noah Ostlund, Jagger Furcus. Furcus I really like. He would be an interesting pick in the second round. Kallio Delius, Leon Bichelle. Anybody else? Lane Hudson, Owen Pickering. I like Owen Pickering. Luca Del Bel Baluz, not a guy I'm super high on, but I get the impression he's going in the first round. Ryan Chesley, Mats Lindgren. So there's still some interesting players left, but that is the end of the first round. So at this point, I'm just gonna sim my next pick, and Sharks actually do not have a second round pick this year, so this is gonna be the entire second round and a decent chunk of the third round as well. So at this point, we're probably mostly looking at players I'm not super familiar with, but there's still quite a few up here that I actually am. Ooh, Tyler Duke is interesting. He's not a player I'm super high on, but he's another boom bust type player for me. So does list offensive defensemen as a Sharks need, which is true. They do need defensemen in general. Jack Devine, Paul Ludwinski. Actually, yeah. I'm not sure that Tyler Duke is exactly the type of defenseman San Jose would draft, but he's available here, so I'll take him. Why not? And let's see, any interesting picks? Sakura went 70th overall. That's interesting. Trikazov went 69th overall. That is very nice. The last time I did this, he was actually available at 75, so I took him there, but they actually have him ranked 69th on this website, so went right in his draft slot. Sam Renzel 65. All right. Let's just sim to my next pick here. Okay, now at this point we're really starting to get into it. Cruz Lucius, everybody knows just because of his brother. Elias Pettersson, I've heard of. Yes, not that Pettersson. There is another Elias Pettersson in this draft. If you haven't heard of him, or perhaps it's Eliash. I don't know. Tyler Brennan for for a goalie. Um, they could use goalie prospects. Cameron Lund. Yeah, and Patterson's another defenseman. Just load up on defensemen this year. I mean, why not? They drafted all forwards last year, I think, or 2 years ago. They drafted like 7 forwards. So I'll take Elias Pettersson. Why not? Yeah, we're now at 137 overall. Hudson Thornton, not a guy I like. Tucker Robertson. I've heard a lot of buzz around him, but I haven't seen him play personally, so I can't really comment on that. Angus Booth is a defenseman. Oh, Christian Kyrou. Christian Kyrou is an interesting one. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's ranked way higher than this on many lists. 148. That seems really low for Christian Kyrou. Unless I'm mistaken, I feel like he's a second round guy for most people. I'm definitely taking him there because he's shown flashes of really high skill too. So that's an awesome pick. Anaheim, let's pick some guy, and now we're up again. Let's see. Again, don't really care for Thornton. That sounds weird coming from a Sharks fan. Um, most of these other guys I haven't heard of, to be honest. So, is Brennan still available? That looks like he has been drafted. Goalies. Oh, Reed Dick is available. That's pretty high to draft him though. Let's just draft this guy. He's their highest ranked player. Why not? Okay. Sim to my pick again. Hmm. Now we're looking at Angus Booth, Sergei Murashov. Actually, I have heard of this guy. Goalie. Yeah, why not? Let's take the goalie. And we have two more picks, I believe. So this is our second to last pick. Um, anybody I know? James Fisher, I've heard of. So that's probably. Oh, I've heard of Jackson. No, actually, I have not heard of Jackson Edward. I believe I'm confusing him with somebody else. Anybody interesting and down here? Colton Smith, I've heard of. Heard good things about him. Freddie Berard, I've heard of. Well, we'll take James Fisher. Why not? And our last pick of the draft. I kind of want to take Kenta Isogai here, but he's not even ranked in their top 350, so he's not in the system. Can't draft him. So we're just gonna have to draft some guy I've never heard of. So whatever. And yes, the only reason I know Kenta Isogai is from Will Scouch. So if you're a fan of Will Scouch, leave a comment. I love that guy. Check him out if you haven't heard of him. I'm sure you've heard of him if you're at my channel. But yeah, a lot of scouting knowledge has come from that guy, and hopefully I'll be a lot better next year for my actual scouting videos. I don't think there's anybody left that I've heard of. Okay, yep, I'm just gonna. Well, we took a goalie earlier, so I don't want to take another goalie. Seamus Powell, why not? He's a defenseman. That's kind of what we came here for, so we could use high skill forwards, but it's a seventh round pick. The odds of any of these guys really being anything are pretty low, so don't need to put too much thought into it. Oh wait, oh we actually have one pick left. Okay. All right, now our last pick. Um, hmm. Seems like it's mostly defensemen and goalies down here. I'll take Colton Smith, literally just because I've heard it. And sim the rest of the draft. And there we go. Okay. So our top pick was Kevin Korchinski. That makes sense. Fills all of our needs. Oh wait, this is our draft as a whole. So he filled all of our needs except for offensive defensemen. Even though we did fill that, okay, maybe we need two offensive defensemen. I don't know. Um, we got Korchinski, so we're covered. What does this do? Oh, okay. Do a quick recap, really quick. Oh, come on, let's scroll to the top. So again, Shane Wright, Cooley, Savoy, Slavkovsky, Nemec. That's your top five. Yurchek, Lambert, Yurov, Kamel, Nazar rounds up the top 10. So this is interesting because outside of Lambert, I think all of these guys and maybe Yurov, I think these guys are all going in the top 10. So I think they got it right to that extent at least. And then Korchinski, Lakarimaki, Matejchuk, Geeky, Mirosnichenko, McGroarty, Hughes, Ogren, Snuggerud, Gauthier, Nelson, Marco Casper, Seamus Casey, Mintukov, Alexander Perevalov, Howard Solomonson, Massar, Luneau, Bystedt, Forsmark, and Kulik round out the first round. So that is interesting. I'd say there's definitely a lot of guys in there that may not go in the first round. I think I have a pretty good chance of not going in the first round. Forsmark, Bystedt, Luneau, Salamonson. I mean, these guys are all at the end, but still. Perevalov, um, and then probably the only other one would be Lambert, who is kind of a 50-50, I guess. So that's pretty interesting. Notable guys in the second round: Furcus, Odelius, Goucher, uh, Kulik. Oh wait, Kulik went first. Ostland, Hudson, Mats Lindgren, I guess, Ryan Chesley, Pickering. 49, that seems, well, actually, that seems about right for Pickering, but I like him a lot more than that. Havlid. Now we're starting to run into just guys. Rikazov goes 69. That's really interesting because Rikazov goes 69 and Sikora goes 70. And those guys are kind of complete opposites. That's kind of funny. But I think that is reasonable. Sikora seems like a guy Carolina would draft. Um, but yeah, Trikazov, that's definitely like the last really big guy I like. Uh, Going 69th overall there. Nice. Um, we took Tyler Duke. Let's see. Is there a way we can look at our just look at our draft class? No, I don't want the Ottawa Senators. Hmm. Draft summary. This isn't this isn't really what I want. Let's see. What if we do this? Oh yeah, here we go. San Jose. So we got Korchinski, Duke, Pedersen, Kairu, this guy, and then some guys basically. Uh, Top four picks, all defensemen. We did get some forwards in the later rounds there, and yeah. So I guess that'll be it for the video then. You know what? Let's do a couple other things actually. Let's look. I want to look at two other teams. I want to look at Montreal because obviously they're picking first overall. Where are they? Montreal. Here we go. So Shane Wright, Isaac Howard, Owen Beck, Julian Lutz, Renzel, and then some guys. A lot of guys. Wow, they have a lot of picks. Um, yeah, that looks like a really solid draft class for Montreal. Uh, Definitely coming out winners if they're getting Wright and Howard, and then Beck and Lutz and Renzel. Those guys are just cherries on top, I guess. And then who knows? Maybe one of these guys will be a big hit. Let's see. Let's go to the underwater night team I want to check out is Arizona, just because they have three firsts and like all the second round picks. So Savoy, Salamonson, Kulik, Goucher, Furcus, and these aren't guys. These are still second round picks, but I haven't heard of these guys. Zilkin I've heard of, but I haven't heard of this guy. I haven't heard of Minton. This is interesting. And then they took they took a Reed Dick. Nice. Um, that's a really interesting class. Salamonson, that high, not a big fan of, but Goucher and Furcus I like. Savoy, I'm not sure about third overall. It's risky. Uh, Furcus is kind of risky too, though. I do like him, but he is risky. So this is a kind of a boomer bust type of class for the Coyotes. So that is uh that is pretty interesting. But that being said, that will be it for this video. If you did like it, please do give it a like. Um, if you did like this video as well, you will probably like my mock draft. I only go over the top 10 guys, but that's really all you need, right? I mean, it's just a mock draft. Um, so I'll put that video somewhere on the screen, for you to click on. And yeah,